Welcome to Monday Night Raw, the Charm City, Baltimore, Maryland, and the Royal Farms Arena. The red brand is fast approaching Survivor Series. We are just under 3 weeks away. I know your camera has not froze, but Survivor Series will be live on this YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell. You're not going to want to miss a goddamn thing. So welcome, folks, as we look back at last week. Nia Jax and Lash Legend defeating Maxine Dupree and Soruka to earn their opportunity to win the inaugural Women's Tag Team Championships. And of course, Lash and Nia will go head-to-head with Damage Control tonight. We'll see that later on in the show. Obafemi, an 8-man tournament for the WWE Vacant Intercontinental Championship started. Obafemi saw off Chad Gable and American Made with that pop-up powerbomb right there. And Damian Priest put down Rusev to advance to the semi-finals. Those two will face each other next week. We're waiting official confirmation, but those two did qualify. And Liv Morgan, off a distraction, managed to get the pinfall over La Primera, as she will captain Team Raw. We'll have all the fallout for that. And John Cena named as the men's captain. He was graciously accepting. He outlined that he does not plan to retire, and this universe mode is all eras, and he is responsible for the team. Who will he choose? Who will be on Team Raw? Well, we'll find out in the coming weeks, but Cena leads the ship. And we're kicking things off here with the Never Seen 17. He's going to hit the ring to grace Baltimore with his presence. Not for the last time, hopefully. Well, we don't know where the rotation is, but what will Cena have to say to the WWE Universe? Message sent, message received from the game, but he will be joining Team Raw, and he's offered John Cena a warning for capital punishment. But we look ahead and we're focused on tonight in Baltimore. The Women's Tag Team Championships will finally be decided. Nia Jax, Lash Legend take on Bayley and Asuka. Damage Control. The Intercontinental Championship Bracket B continues. Well, it starts. Seth Rollins takes on Bronson Reed in the first round. And of course, Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show, will take on Dirty Dominic Mysterio in round 1. The winners of these two matches will meet next week on Monday Night Raw to determine who will reach the final. On our main event tonight, Javon Evans, a late signing to Monday Night Raw, will take on the ring General Gunther. That and much, much more. But we're going to kick things off with the Intercontinental Championship. Well, not the championship itself, but the tournament that has been running since last week and will continue all the way up until Survivor Series. Bronson Reed looks to advance, but across him is no easy task. We haven't seen Seth Rollins since that ambulance match, and as you can see here, the brackets over. Femi and Damian Priest will already meet next week. The two other semi-finalists will be decided here tonight. Seth Rollins is still suffering from injuries and was nearly withdrawn from this tournament, and somebody else had to take his place, but Seth insistent on competing. He is in no way, shape or form ready to deal with a debuting Australian beast. But Seth is always in good spirits. Separated from arch rival LA Knight, the United States champion who was drafted to SmackDown, it's a fresh beginning for the Architect. Intercontinental Championship gold, implications on the line in this match. A win here will see the Visionary pass through and meet either the winner of Dominic Mysterio and Rob Van Dam later tonight. Could the Intercontinental Championship, maybe many people felt that Seth Rollins could have been chosen by SmackDown if he won the United States Championship. And if you haven't seen WrestlePalooza, there's a full replay available on the channel. LA Knight defeating Seth Rollins not once but twice, and he beat him controversially. Throwing powder in the face of Rollins after an absolutely hellacious ambulance match might not have been the smartest tactic, but it was legal. And it meant that Seth Rollins is still titleless. As Seth embraces the Baltimore crowd, you have to think that Seth at 60% is going to have to pull out a Baltimore miracle in the Charm City tonight to overstep the Aussie nightmare that is Bronson Reed. And a little bit of lore about Bronson Reed in a separate universe, in my WWE 2K25 universe mode. Obviously, this one's a continuous universe mode. Bronson Reed was a thorn in the side of the American Nightmare, who now holds the Undisputed Championship over on SmackDown. He's got an opportunity to reinvent himself, restart and revigor, and he goes one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins. Both these men just going to start by sizing each other up, and Rollins with the Irish whip. Can't imagine Bronson Reed's a light man to throw around the ring. This is how Seth has to start, because every time you get hit by Bronson Reed, it's like facing a traffic head-on. And despite not being at 100%, Seth Rollins looks like he has come to play. And we're not talking about The Miz. Of course, The Miz is drafted in this universe mode. Can't wait to see more from him. Could he be a competitor for LA Knight over on SmackDown? We don't know. And Bronson Reed is just starting to Seth's starting to feel the pace of this match. Of course, injuries suffered at the hands of LA Knight in that ambulance match. LA Knight is not 100% either, by the way, folks. That is something that is definitely wear and has provided some wear and tear on the body. But Rollins will fight till the death. Maybe fighting Bronson Reed at 70% is not the answer. But he did not want to give up his spot here tonight. There was rumours that somebody could and would replace him and give Rollins time for recovery. The medical staff didn't actually clear Rollins, but Rollins had to sign a disclosed form to say it's his responsibility what happens here tonight. And I can only imagine after the damage to the ribs that was suffered at WrestlePalooza, receiving a tsunami or two would not be recommended from the medical staff. Rollins going to the top rope, Bronson Reed. And Rollins has started off this match with a good pacing, but Bronson Reed reads him like an author. Seth Rollins going by many monikers in the past: the Visionary, the Revolutionary, the Architect. But tonight, he's going to have to be a miracle worker. And Bronson Reed with an axe handle. And one thing's for damn sure, with the state of Seth freaking Rollins' body, taking a fight to the outside with a barbarian like Bronson Reed is probably not in the best interest of his health. As Bronson Reed just flexes Baltimore, rings out boos for the Aussie Nightmare, and Rollins goes to the top rope. Bronson's too distracted, and not distracted enough. And Rollins is going to go flying into that announcer's desk. The Spanish announcer's team are not here tonight, as you can see, and head bounced off that That will not do you any favours, by the way, bouncing your head off that. And look at the strength. Look at the strength of Bronson Reed. It just plants Seth freaking Rollins. Of course, alongside Obafemi, who did advance last week, you have to think that Bronson Reed, should he beat Seth Rollins tonight, has to be one of the favourites to lift that black, gold and blue championship, the Intercontinental Championship, so prestigious. And now a nice German suplex from Bronson Reed. Irish whip here. Puts Seth Rollins into perspective. And like I said, it's like running into traffic. You play in traffic, you're going to get run down. That's exactly what's happening to Seth freaking Rollins. It's kind of maybe starting to feel the pace. Bronson Reed will control the pace. And that's not good for Seth Rollins. And a sit-down powerbomb. I believe his head bounced off that buckle. That can break your goddamn neck. End up like Kurt Angle in the 1996 Olympic Games if you're not careful. And Bronson Reed is running at Seth like a steam train. And he isn't showing any signs of slowing down. Rollins could be in trouble. The result of this match could mean he's eating food out of a straw. And a kick out by Rollins somehow. That Samoan driver from Bronson Reed. But you can tell with the body language of Seth Rollins, who's going to fight back here and give everything he's got. The body language does not look good. Sling blade from Rollins. A last chance saloon maybe. But he's going to have to do more to put away. We're going to see a pedigree right here, right now. And it's going to connect. Rollins could be about to advance to round 2, the semi-finals. But Reed is alive. Going to have to think it's going to take more than a pedigree to put down a warrior like Bronson Reed. He wouldn't have looked out of place in the Viking era. So when you've got that standing across the ring from you and slamming you into the mat like that, it's not always pleasant. Bronson Reed really flexing. Looks like he's been working at Gold's Gym. Now Bronson Reed's going to the top turnbuckle, and Rollins absolutely does not want a cannonball coming down at him, and a quick to respond. Smart move from the Architect. And now we're going to see Rollins. Maybe he's going to do that reverse 450, and he does, and it connects. Rollins with the shoulders on the mat of Reed, and kick out 2. And it was close. And you have to think what's next for Bronson Reed. Springboard moonsault if he does lose to a 70% Seth Rollins. But Reed won't be concerned with that chop in a way. But we're going to see Gunther in action in our main event. He loves a chop. I would love to see Gunther and Bronson Reed go at it. That'd be like a Godzilla versus King Kong. And of course, Obafemi, the other side of the bracket. A sling blade from Rollins here is awaiting Damian Priest. That's going to be an absolute car crash. And then whoever wins that is going to meet whoever wins these 2 matches. And it's going to be an absolute... This is no bread, no water, and just meat. That's all this tournament is. And Bronson Reed is now struggling to get to a vertical base. Rollins is showing exactly what he has in his heart. And a super kick to the face of Bronson Reed. Might rearrange his nose structure. And Rollins might be looking for that stomp. Might not be the worst idea to try and get Bronson Reed out of here, but Bronson Reed says, no, thank you, Seth. I don't want to be stomped today, and slams him on the mat. And just putting the body weight of Rollins. We heard earlier Triple H say to Cena, capital punishment February. That will be your next premium live event following Survivor Series. The war of the brands. Who will receive bragging rights? Who will gain the main events of WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. That is what is at stake at Survivor Series. And what's at stake right here, right now, also has implications at Survivor Series, because should the 4 original matches, Men's World Champ, Women's World Champ, and the 4 traditional Survivor Series tag teams result in a draw, the WWE Raw Intercontinental Champion will go head-to-head with the United States Champion over on SmackDown at Survivor Series in a decider match. That is LA Knight at the moment. Seth Rollins might get his sweet revenge should he win this whole entire tournament. But of course, LA Knight held that championship for over 300 days. A lot can happen in 3 weeks of SmackDown. Will LA Knight even be the champion? We don't know. Now Rollins is going to push the pace here, of course, and misses. And you have to blame that on the wear and tear from WrestlePalooza on the 27th of December. I know we're a couple of weeks removed, but the scars of that can be wore for life. And Reed, like a train again, and like a absolute... Oh no, I think we're going to see some tsunami. Watch out for the earthquake. Rollins had to move, because if that man hits that, your lights are out. And Rollins is going to hit the stomp here. Reed, bleeding, crimson striped. It's like ECW, and Reed has his hands on the rope at a 1 count. What kind of behemoth is Bronson Reed? Rollins hits him with his best shot, and it's not enough. And a knee drop from Rollins. Of course, Bronson Reed's face looking like a red painting from kindergarten. It's not looking in a good place, and Rollins tells Reed to get to his feet. I don't think Reed will appreciate that. I'm sure he can get up on his own, and he's going to bring Rollins back to his feet. And we're going to see that Samoan driver yet again. Bronson Reed is losing the plot. Every bit of offense that he throws at Seth freaking Rollins seems to be getting more impactful, seems to be getting more painful, and seems to be putting Rollins on the shelf for longer. And I believe Bronson Reed, with this crowd, goes for a tsunami again. Rollins avoids again. Might be looking for a super kick and does get it. And Bronson Reed cleverly rolling to the turnbuckle pads there in the top right-hand corner, and that's going to allow Rollins a chance to build momentum with the clothesline to the back of the head. And Rollins might be looking for another stomp, and that surely will put away the Aussie Nightmare, and it's not going to work because Reed's like a train. And what's one thing that trains do? They don't stop. They keep moving forward. There is no reverse in a train, and there is no reverse in Bronson Reed. And what the hell is Reed doing here? 2 elbow drops. That's a 300-pound man who's just squishing the life out of Seth freaking Rollins. And a tsunami to suit. And Rollins kicks out at 2-9 recurring. And Reed will not believe that, but Rollins does not look in a good way, folks. And I am getting reports from the medical staff that Rollins is being looked at. But Rollins with a pedigree out of nowhere. That could be enough. Reed was arguing with the referee, and that might be enough to put the architect through. And Reed kicks out. You have to take your hats off to these folks. A stomp will do it, and a stomp will not connect because Reed is seething. Seth Rollins had the last burst of energy hitting that pedigree, and he's received 2 300-pound earthquakes from Bronson Reed. Reed advances in the tournament. I do not want to be Dominic or Rob Van Dam because this man looks pretty much unstoppable. You can see confirmed Bronson Reed has advanced to the next round, and the mouth-watering prospect of Bronson Reed or whoever wins the next match. A new year doesn't erase the past, it challenges it. Because when the calendar turns, so does the industry. New beginnings and given they are taken. For decades, Survivor Series has been the proving ground where loyalty is tested, legacies are forged, and supremacy is decided. This isn't about championship, this is about identity. Which brand leads the future? Which superstars define the new era? When the new year begins, only one thing matters. Survive or be left behind. Live from the Scotiabank Arena, Ontario, Canada. It is Jack presents WWE Survivor Series. And we continue our Intercontinental Championship Tournament. Rob Van Dam, the whole effing show, will face Dominic Mysterio. Bronson Reed, the Aussie Nightmare, awaits whoever is on the other side. And we're going to take a look at the tournament brackets in literally, well now, Bronson Reed defeating Seth Rollins. Not a fully fit Seth Rollins, but still picking up the victory. allows Bronson to go through to the semi-finals as Rob Van Dam... I saw Liv Morgan in the background there, and that never spells good signs. Dominic Mysterio now with a cheap shot to the whole effing show. And I'm sick to death of the shenanigans that this man will put up with. He will do anything, stoop to any level in order to get his own way, and into the steel steps goes Rob Van Dam, the ECW legend. I'm sure he's been through worse inside of an ECW ring, but Dominic Mysterio is going to make sure that Rob Van Dam, the WWE Hall of Famer, doesn't even make it to the goddamn ring, and Dominic with a drop kick does follow up, and he brings the limp body of Rob Van Dam back to his feet. He's going to Irish whip him into the barricade. Rob Van Dam's head bounced off that barricade. The fans here in Baltimore ringing out with boos as Dominic Mysterio does things the way Dominic Mysterio likes to conduct them, in a punch to the face to rub salt into the goddamn wounds here. And damn right he's silencing that crowd because they can't stand this man. And this match will be called off if it doesn't get in the ring. And an Irish whip sending Dominic flying across the canvas. Rob Van Dam's going to wait for Latino cheat in the ring. Liv Morgan's going to get involved though. She debuckles the turnbuckle, trying to distract Rob Van Dam. But as you can see, his eyes thoroughly focused on Mysterio, and sent back to the outside goes Dominic Mysterio. Rob Van Dam here going to look for a springboard. But Liv Morgan, the distraction of Liv Morgan jumping over them stairs, caused Rob Van Dam to pull away. He'd already launched himself for the moonsault, but it meant that he fell short. And now Dominic is going to taunt in the middle of the ring. And this man needs to be taught a lesson in decorum, because his father, who's over on SmackDown, Rey Mysterio, certainly has that in abundance. So I struggle to see where the upbringing of this gentleman has gone wrong. And I say gentleman loosely, he's certainly not one of those. And Dominic with his girlfriend here is going to try and advance in the Intercontinental Championship tournament. Dom is no doubt a future world champion, as he's lining up Rob Van Dam here like a predator at a prey, but Rob Van Dam reads it, and a wonderful German suplex from the whole effing show. Rob Van Dam going to fight back now. He's going to potentially try and build the momentum and shift it, but Dominic's quick. Despite whatever we say about Dominic Mysterio, his sixth sense to reverse and shift tides in matches is something that is undeniable. And Rob Van Dam sent to the outside, and Dominic goes for a senton that Rob Van Dam just graciously avoids, says no thank you. Now Dominic's going to be dragged by Rob Van Dam. Could we be about to see that spinning leg drop? And I think we are, folks. The crowd's going to scream Rob Van Dam in unison. It looked like John Cone just touched Rob Van Dam there, but the crowd are in unison, and Rob Van Dam connects with that leg drop, taking down Dominic Mysterio, the dirtiest player in the game. Shout out to Nature Boy Ric Flair. It's like Dominic Mysterio is like a reincarnation right here, and Rob Van Dam going to do his signature taunt in front of a Latino cheat, and look at him down to his knees begging for forgiveness. I wouldn't forgive this son of a gun any day of the week. Anything that him and his deranged girlfriend do, no offense, Liv, by the way, but anything that them two do is never good. And bringing Rob Van Dam back to his feet. Intercontinental Championship implications on the line here on Monday Night Raw. Who will walk away going through to the semi-final? Of course, an Aussie nightmare in Bronson Reed awaits the winner. And Rob Van Dam's going to fight back, of course, a former ECW original. And look, speaking of ECW, looks like Liv Morgan's looking to add some of the ECW charm into the ring. And Rob Van Dam going to try fight back. That distraction allows Dominic to fight back, but Rob Van Dam is a veteran in the game. And a double clothesline here followed up. And Rob Van Dam with the super kick could be looking for some rolling thunder. And he's put away people with this in the past. Will he put away Dominic Mysterio here on Monday Night Raw? And kicks out. Does Dominic at 2.5. Barely lifts the shoulder off of the canvas. Rob Van Dam going to go for a springboard. Moonsault connects. That's wonderful work here from Rob Van Dam, the former ECW original. And Dominic gets the shoulder up again. The thing that frustrates me with this young gentleman is he does not need to stoop to levels like he does in order to get the job done. A collision there between Dominic and Rob Van Dam, and a drop kick from Dominic, because separation is the perfect thing for an opportunist. And are we going to see the 3 most deadly numbers in all of professional wrestling? The 6, 1, 9. And he could be looking for that frog splash. That's what he always looks for after the 619, and it misses. Rob Van Dam's awake despite getting a double foot to the face. That 619 put away many people by his, what he calls, certainly don't call him, his deadbeat father, who's over on SmackDown, made the 619 famous. And now, of course, Liv Morgan's getting involved again. She cannot keep her nose out of business involving her boyfriend, and that's fair to say. Chops from Dominic, and now he's going to go for a Hurricanrana. It does connect on Rob Van Dam, trying to block out this crowd in Baltimore. They're absolutely livid with what they've seen. I was expecting a goddamn fair matchup, and we're never going to get that when Dom's in the equation, and when John Cena does not do his job. And Rob Van Dam, springboard flip there from RVD. Rob Van Dam, the crowd chants in unison. They're really behind him, and the referee getting in the way. That was accidental, but Rob Van Dam seems to be frustrated, and that's going to allow Dominic a chance to hit a roll-up pin. If the referee costs Rob Van Dam here, there will be absolute riots in Baltimore, and a kick out from the former ECW original. The whole effing show is what he calls himself. Now Dirty Dominic Mysterio going to the top rope, and we know how effective his top rope offense is. The methods in which he chooses to win matches is not the best, but RVD telegraphs. Not going to get hit by that crossbody. Maybe not smart from Dominic. DDT from Rob Van Dam, and Liv again. There's got to be a line where John Cena finally says enough is enough. Get her out of here. Remove her from the equation. Make it fair. And as he's distracted, what the hell's Dominic doing, by the way? Throws the referee out the ring, and then, oh my God, low blow to the nether regions of Rob Van Dam. But you stupid idiot, you can't win the match if you've thrown the referee out of the ring. And although Dominic probably would advance to the next round, he's not going to right now. And RVD manages to kick out around a 6 count. Dominic had the match won. Maybe that's the inexperience. Dominic going outside to get the ref, but Rob Van Dam follows him. And now RVD has a chance to shift the tides. Can only imagine the pain going through his groinal regions right now. But he seems to have forgot about that. Rob Van Dam's frustration is evident. He pushes the referee by accident. Well, not by accident, on purpose. Frustration. Not an attack. Will not get disqualified for that. Well, he could, but I don't think he will. Pushes the referee. I can completely... Oh, my goodness. Good on you, Rob Van Dam. Put this son of a... down. And chair shot to the head of Dominic. ECW in the building. Throws him back in the ring. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad that Rob Van Dam's decided to stoop to the levels of Dominic Mysterio. Going for a rolling thunder again, Dominic telegraphs. That chair shot will leave you ringing ear to ear. We're going to see some 619 again. This will be 12 to 18, but he's caught this time by Rob Van Dam, who telegraphs the 619. Fool me once, you won't fool me twice, says Rob Van Dam, and a split-legged sit on the legs of Dominic Mysterio. Now to the top rope. This frog splash is not a normal frog splash because he rates it 5 stars. And a kick out from Dom. And Liv Morgan is just parading around the ring on the east side of the ring. She's just really proud of her boyfriend and what he's achieved tonight. Showing some great resiliency, though, despite the tactics from Dom. Lovely German suplex there. The snap German suplex is a very effective method. And again, the distraction. The captain of Team Raw for the women, who of course has got her own problems to deal with, including Team SmackDown, and the fact that her own bloody team does not trust her. And John Cena is finally doing his job and ejecting Liv Morgan from the arena. Instead of focusing on Survivor Series, Rob Van Dam's going to escort her out as well. That is the right thing for Rob Van Dam to do, but don't take your eyes off this guy. Hurricanrana from Rob Van Dam, from Dominic Mysterio. A Latino cheat will seize any opportunity that you do give him. And Rob Van Dam's going to fight back now. Another flip, sunset flip. Well, it's not a sunset flip, but I can't call it the name that it was called. It's controversial. And Rolling Thunder again from Rob Van Dam. And could be looking for some 5. This will be a 10th star. Frog splash misses. Now Dominic will take advantage of that. Rob Van Dam looks to have hit his head or his stomach. He looks to be winded after missing that. And this could spell danger for Rob Van Dam. Dominic's going to go to the top rope now. Right on the top rope. And now he might be feeling a bit froggy. And Dominic is about to advance. And he does. What a disgrace. What a disgraceful young man this is. I'm sure Rey Mysterio is not happy with how his son's turned out. But you can see Dominic Mysterio will go ahead to meet Bronson Reed in the semi-finals next week on Monday Night Raw. We're just waiting for that match to be made official. This guy must be... Oh, my God. Enough is enough. Dominic has already won the match, but he's pursuing rubbing salt in the wounds. You've beat him, man. You don't need to continue. Oh, my God. Steel steps in hand. Nothing good ever happens with the steel steps. And Dominic just parading around Rob Van Dam's limp body. And the method in which this has been... Oh, my God, he's going to throw it in it. Oh, my God. Tons of steel. Well, not tons, but that won't be pretty. That will KO your lights out. And we're going backstage now because Rob Van Dam is stumbling to the ring. And here awaits John Cena. Well, John Cena not fazed by the defeat of Rob Van Dam from the hands of Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Rob Van Dam will join Team Raw. We're looking ahead to next week. Of course, that has been confirmed now by Adam Pearce. Dominic Mysterio will take on Big Bronson Reed in the Intercontinental Championship semi-final. Also next week, we're going to find out who wins between these two gargantuan individuals. Obafemi takes on Damian Priest next week on Monday Night Raw. Who will reach the final? And of course, with 4 members needed, John Cena needs to find one more teammate. And will he find that last teammate next week? John Cena will be in on the show next week. This is a big moment for the women, folks, because Raw has been chosen as the home to crown our inaugural WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Damage Control, who have, of course, implied New Day rules, have selected Bayley and Asuka to enter the tournament. Kairi Sane will be on the outside. They will take on Power Protocol, consisting of Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Of course, both of these teams did have to win their respective matches to get to this point. And with more women's tag teams being added throughout the year, the tag team divisions for both the men and the women are going to remain very, very interesting. Of course, Asuka and Bayley defeated the team of Nikki Cross and Tatum Paxley. And Nikki's gone back with the Wyatt 6. Nia Jax and Lash Legend absolutely putting down Maxine Dupree as she teamed with Sol Ruka. And it comes to this. Of course, anybody's eligible. Both brands will be home to the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Form a team if you're not in the world title picture. Try and get yourself some gold accolades in this universe mode, should be the message. One of these teams will add championship gold for definite to their arsenal. Of course, disqualification is in effect, so should it end in a no contest, the championship will remain vacated. We're hoping it doesn't get to that point, though. And if you're a lady, standing across the ring from you here is two, well, let's just say, powerhouses. Nia Jax can hit you like a train. Lash Legend isn't far behind. She might be the carriage. You don't want to get into a brawl with these two ladies. I don't know what the best method is to try and put them down, but trying to put them down is no easy task. Power Protocol, they call themselves. And I can imagine that damage control will be damage limitation after this match. Because these two ladies probably are the favourites, but the experience of Bayley and Asuka surely could be a factor. It's going to be a close call, and that's what it's all about, folks, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Of course, the only thing left from the old era of our universe mode being dragged across. And John Cone, with the controversial performance last match between Dominic and Rob Van Dam, will officiate this match and will determine who will be the women's champion. Now, I just want to make you aware that this match has been separated into 2 parts because it was just so long. But it's still a great match. And Nia Jax going straight after Asuka here. But Bayley's going to find out that you're not just going to walk through Nia Jax, who just barnstorms Bayley like she doesn't even exist, and a kick out of 1 from Bayley. She might have felt the strength there of Nia Jax. And that's not the best thing in the world to feel, as Nia uses her strength, uses her power, and she's going to drop Bayley right. That must be about 10 feet in the air. Oh my goodness. The role model is getting taught a lesson by Nia Jax, the former queen of the ring, and has Holder wrenched the arms and slams her on the mat. That will not do her any favours. And Nia screaming at this Baltimore crowd, "We want more," and they're booing the hell out of Nia Jax, by the way, who's just embarrassing Bayley here in a Lou Thez press, and she's just going to rag her by the hair and slam her head into the mat. This is quite an interesting display of power from Nia Jax. It's what we always expected from this lady. Nothing short of destruction, and she's going to tag in her protege, Lash Legend, who's nothing short of a powerhouse, and a slam there, a power slam from Lash Legend, who then goes ahead and taunts away with the old Meta 4 taunt. Of course, Meta 2 over on SmackDown. You can go catch them on the blue brand. That's Oro Mensah and Noam Dar. They're, in fact, in a tag team championship tournament, so make sure you go support them. They've maybe not gone down the darker path that Lash Legend has chosen, but it's gained her opportunities and it's put her to a position where she's competing for a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, so can't really blame her with her choices. Nia Jax is a veteran in the game. Maybe not does that, and smart from Bayley or dumb from Bayley, because Nia Jax won't forget that. Now Bayley is going to have to utilise her wrestling background, her experience. She's going to tag in Asuka, a former multiple-time world champion, and she's going to face off against Lash Legend. It's the past versus the future. Lash wants nothing to do with Asuka, unless Nia Jax was calling to be put in. And now Asuka's going to attack Nia Jax, and realising that maybe when Bayley shoulder tackles her off the edge of the ring apron, that's not the best thing for business. Huge blows from Asuka do nothing. She's throwing absolute barbs at Nia Jax, and Nia Jax just eats them. And the Irish whip was so strong that Asuka just bounces off the turnbuckle. Oh my goodness, that elbow drop. That's going to stop your heart if you're not careful. Pinfall attempt here from Nia. I'm going to have to do more than that, even despite the power of the offense, to put down Asuka, who's a guaranteed Hall of Famer already. Got such an illustrious career on her own. The longest undefeated streak in WWE history, period. That is not to be sniffed at. So if anybody in this whole goddamn roster can take down Nia Jax, I would assume Asuka's your best bet. Of course, since joining Damage Control, kind of like going on a different route to what she's already achieved. Bringing in Bayley to help her and Kairi Sane do the work. And Nia Jax has dragged Bayley into the ring and just beating her like a government mule. And Asuka's going to find out that Nia Jax, you're going to have to do more than a forearm. Nia looks like an absolute monster in this match. And who's going to take this woman down? It takes about 5 years to get her off her feet, and about 10 years to slow her down, because she's just like a Mack truck. And a reversal there from Asuka. And finally, Nia Jax taken off her feet from Asuka. She's going to wait for her to get back to her feet, and she's going to hit with the crossbody. Asuka finally shifting the tide and celebrating. But this is no time for celebration. The thing with Nia Jax is you've got to keep on her when she's down. And Asuka's going to hit her with that rear end to the face. And does. Could be enough to put away Nia Jax here. John Cena. And not even a 1 count. You have to wonder what on earth these two women from Damage Control have to do to put down Nia Jax. Yeah, is your better bet to get Lash Legend back in the ring? But Nia quite likes being in the ring. She likes dishing out punishment. That's her whole character. Irish whip into the corner goes Nia Jax, who's not going to allow Asuka to get the tag. She's just going to bring Bayley in as well, because she's not bothered how many people there are. And Asuka's trying to punch her, and the punches do nothing. And now a big punch from Nia Jax. Kairi Sane thinks maybe she needs to get involved. But Nia Jax technically not doing anything wrong. A 1 count there. Not done enough damage to Bayley. Going to tag in Lash Legend. And Asuka might get a break. But I say a break because Lash Legend is also a monster. Huge clothesline from Lash. And a shoulder tackle taking Bayley to the outside. And stomps to the chest of Asuka. Going to bring her back to her feet here. Tag Team Championships on the line. We hopefully will crown one. And sent to the heavens and sent to the mat is Asuka. Oh my god. We're going to see the Asuka lock. The inexperience of Lash could tap the centre of the ring. And Kairi's goading this Baltimore crowd to get behind. But Nia's not going to allow that, I can tell you that. And she doesn't allow it. And a drop kick to Asuka. But Lash Legend might have passed out here, folks. And we're going to tag in a fresh Bayley, who's going to attack Nia Jax again. Lash could be in trouble here. We could be about to see new tag team champions. Bayley has hold of Lash Legend. Nice suplex there. Oh my god, I think we're going to see tag team champions right here. Bayley's going to go for the Bayley to belly, it looks like, but no, says Lash. And Lash Legend just celebrating her work, her body of work that she's achieved in this match. Have to say, she's done a terrific job. Bayley to belly. Don't celebrate too long, sister, and kick out. Bayley. The Bayley to belly. Put away many women over the past. Now an Irish whip into the corner. Goes Lash Legend going for a tag team move here. Going to bring Asuka back into the ring. And a wonderful double back body drop as we shift the tide. And during the commercial break, Nia Jax has been tagged back into the ring. Still so much to happen. A swanton from Bayley, potentially taking down Nia Jax. Gonna go, I think she's going for that Macho Bayley elbow. Oh yeah, and an elbow drop connects. That might be enough. And for some reason she's not going for the pinfall. Can't understand that from Bayley there. Oh, she went for the rose plant. And Nia telegraphed. Nia Jax with the choke slam off the reversal and takes Asuka off the edge of the ring apron. I'm surprised she's not got Kairi involved as well. Nia Jax, for whatever you think of her, whatever you think of her character, she will fight anybody, any place, any time. And now we're going to see a spinning back sidewalk slam from Nia Jax. Bayley crawls to the turnbuckle pad, the top turnbuckle pad. Nia Jax might be sensing the end here. And a reversal from Bayley. And another punch from Bayley. But that's only going to piss Nia off even more. And she just slams her to the mat. And a pinfall attempt from Nia Jax. Maybe thinks Bayley is done for. And Bayley got the shoulder up. Good observation there from Nia Jax. That's that veteran instinct that Nia has. And now she's arguing with the referee. Not happy with the decision. John Cena's had a bit of a controversial night at the office here tonight. And Bayley is celebrating. And we're going to see Bayley fight back. And she's going to take Nia Jax down and make this a brawl. Usually wouldn't recommend getting into a brawl with Nia Jax. Just throwing that out there right now. And we're going to see that knee kick to the face. Wouldn't be the worst idea to tag in your tag team partner here who's fresh. And try and take down Nia Jax. And a kick to the back from Asuka. Another kick to the back from Asuka. And I have to say this woman has everything. Telling... Is she going to try put Nia Jax in the Asuka lock? She's going to try something. Is Nia Jax in trouble? And misses. And Nia with a big clothesline. What do you have to do to take this woman down? I wish I had a coloured commentator so I could ask. But I'm asking these questions myself. You're going to have to answer them in the comments. What the hell do you have to do to take down Nia Jax? That's what my biggest worry is in this match. Just seems like whenever anybody gets any offense, it's startled. And now Asuka going to go for it again. A huge right hook from Asuka. brings her back to her feet now. Could be in big trouble because this is the second time this has been cinched in. The Asuka lock, center of the ring. And I don't believe that Nia is going to help her. She's not going to allow that submission to get in effect. Probably a smart move from Nia Jax because that would make anybody submit. And Asuka crawls to the turnbuckle with nothing left. Well, it seems like she's got nothing left. She's struggling to stay on her feet after that attack from Nia Jax. And Lash Legend with a clothesline. Asuka telegraphs and another backwards forearm. You can see how much is at stake for these two women. You can see how much it means. The WWE World Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. And now Damage Control look like they could be about to hit. And Lash just avoided that there. And might have just, like Anthony Joshua to Jake Paul, might have just knocked Bayley's ass out. Oh my word. Bayley escapes. Reverse DDT. And it looks like she's looking for the rose plant. But she's just looking over Lash Legend, who will not get back to her feet. Lash looks hurt, ladies and gentlemen. Is she playing possum? What's going on here? She looks really hurt. And Bayley is just stalking over her. And it was a bait all along. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. And a crossbody from Bayley. And a huge punch from Nia Jax. Nia might be sensing that she has to take this match into her own responsibility. Oh my God. I believe we're going to see it now. And this move that nobody has kicked out of, I don't think anybody ever will. Nia Jax poised to strike. And Bayley, her heart might have stopped. Rolls into the center of the ring. Now she's going to attack Asuka as well. Wants to... What the hell is she doing to Asuka? Asuka brought into the ring. You have the match won. Bayley's not moved. And thank goodness, after a shot that you've just missed, a camera cut, sorry, Bayley is back to her feet. I don't know how the hell, but she's going to send Asuka, who's going to reverse to the outside, and now Damage Control are going to feast on Nia Jax. She's bringing Bayley to the ring. I truly believe Power Protocol had this match won, should Nia Jax have pinned Bayley there. And into the steps goes Nia Jax. What a match this has been, folks, for the women's tag. What an advertisement for the women's tag team division this really is, folks. It's an absolutely tremendous match. Now Asuka's going to kick away and Nia's going to fight back. And she's going to throw Asuka into the barricade. And you can only imagine what the impact of her head would have been. And Bayley is going to look to get out. She wants Nia back in the ring. Of course, later Bayley, the legal woman, speaking too fast there. And Nia's not going to go in at the angle that she expected. And now Bayley is going to fight Nia. And Nia is going to fight Bayley. And we're going to throw barbs, haymakers, uppercuts, anything, and chops as well. No. Oh, the big boot from Nia Jax takes down Bayley. We are reaching the absolute business end of this match. Asuka sent to the outside again. Nia Jax wants nothing to do with Asuka. And Bayley fights out. And is she going to go for a Bayley to belly on Nia Jax? She is. A hook of the leg. Nia's beaten, but Lashy's a little bit of poor instinct there from such a veteran superstar. Lash Legend is just perched above Nia Jax. It's never a smart idea. And a rose plant fails. And the choke slam again from Nia. And what the hell is Nia Jax thinking? Bayley trying to crawl away. She's trying to crawl to attack team partner, but Nia plants the elbow. Ooh, yeah. One man. Wait, what am I on about? One man? One woman's pain is another woman's pleasure. And now we're going to see the torture rack from Nia Jax. Goodness me. Bayley's going to get broken in half. She's going to get... Stop the match, John. I think she's passed out. Bayley has passed out. And Nia Jax has asserted her dominance. And your new tag team... I don't even... If I were a woman in the tag team division, I wouldn't even go for this title, I'll be honest. Because that display from Nia Jax right there was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. interesting because my main question coming out of WrestlePalooza was, what the hell were Jacob and Braun doing? He instructed them not to attack when he heard Brock Lesnar's music. Sorry. So we're going to find out Brock Lesnar suspended now till after Survivor Series. But we've got the WWE Women's only singles champion, Tiffany Stratton, in the ring with us right now. And it looks like Tiffany might have just heard enough from Nikki Bella. Of course, Tiffany already beaten Nikki Bella at Christmas Chaos for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, retained it, and now we're going to have a brawl. And as you guys knows, we can't afford security in this universe mode, so anything can happen. And Nikki Bella just throwing punches to Tiffany Stratton here, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She's teasing her. She's demanding another match. You know goddamn well that Tiffany defended that championship fair and square. But Nikki Bella's playing the mind games with Tiffany Stratton. Oh my god. This is not like Tiffany. Nikki seems to have broke down her character. And because it's not like Tiffany and it is more like Nikki Bella, Nikki anticipates the chair shot. And she won't be afraid to use it, I can tell you that. And she definitely won't be afraid of a chair shot to Tiffany Stratton, the Women's Intercontinental Champion. And what the hell's Nikki going to follow that up with? Oh my god. Message sent. Message received. Nikki Bella wants that gold more than you want to watch me. Well, here we are, folks. Welcome to the main event. We've had an absolutely amazing show tonight. I wonder if Nikki Bella will get another opportunity at Tiffany Stratton. We know that Brock Lesnar's suspended till after Survivor Series, so Bren has to focus on Cody. We've crowned new Women's Tag Team Championships and also found out 2 semi-finalists of the WWE Intercontinental Championship. We know the semi-finals of that now, but we're going to finish off the night with the Ring General with a late signing for Raw, Javon Evans. Now, Gunther's last appearance was inside that 6-man Hell in a Cell, which Ilya Dragunov of Friday Night SmackDown won for an opportunity at the World Championship. Of course, Brock Lesnar has directly staked his intentions. Gunther will surely be somebody who's also thinking about the same thing. But he's got to get through Javon Evans tonight. This guy has had a massive renaissance behind him in 2025. Such a propelling career this year. Somebody who I never intended to use in the universe mode, but has got so much hype. And now he's main eventing Monday Night Raw against the Ring General. Well, you might be asking what's at stake, folks. Pride can sometimes overbear everything else. And with Survivor Series and John Cena needing a final teammate, could one of these men be the fourth and final man? Well, Javon Evans, one thing's for sure, certainly good on the eye. But the Ring General, the clue's in the name, likes to command the ring, likes to demand the respect, and likes to hurt people. This is going to be interesting. An interesting dynamic between two very polar opposite superstars. And we're going to start with the collar and elbow tie-up. Gunther's going to take charge in a drop kick, showing he has some high-flying abilities. Gunther, of course, the chops, can light up your chest like a Christmas tree. And he's going to start with a European uppercut that nearly knocks Javon Evans into row Z in the XL Center here. And a big boot to keep Javon down. Another, and chops are already firing. Javon needs to limit how many of them Gunther actually connects with, because they can be felt in your chest, affect your breathing, do everything. Now Gunther's going to just parade around the ring. The ring general is always proud of his work. And what an addition somebody like Gunther is to Monday Night Raw. And he is really angling for this crowd. With Bren with the World Heavyweight Championship, might not have realised it. However he acts, a bit out of character to take a beating from Brock Lesnar on purpose. I can't imagine, I don't know what part of the plan that is, but of course he's got Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series. So he needs to focus on that. Adam Pearce taking matters into his own hands and making sure that Brent is focused. Brent says he's already beat Cody Rhodes in 2 minutes 18 seconds. A bit different to facing a fresh Cody, let's be honest. And I am under no illusion that I'm pretty confident that the MBO will be banned from ringside. And a reversal there from Javon Evans. Maybe looking for a... Oh, that's a wonderful arm drag there from Javon. Both these men will be wanting to stake their claims in for a championship, the Intercontinental Championship. Javon Evans was a late signing to this year, so I'm surprised that he didn't get shuffled into the Intercontinental Championship. Would certainly have been a fun addition and a German suplex. Gunther will be looking for world gold. That's the problem for Bren. Target on your back. There's people like Gunther stalking you all the time. But of course he has the backup of his 2 goon squad. A nice Hurricanrana there from Javon Evans. I always get excited when I see this man in action. He's going to fight back with clotheslines and everything that he's got. Going to sweep the leg of Gunther. Your boy is bouncy. Maybe now looking for a top rope maneuver here. Javon Evans looking to pull away the Ring General, who is disappointed to have not won that Christmas Chaos Hell in a Cell. I can assure you, as the COO of this company, I have definitely heard my fair share of complaints from Gunther about how that match went down. And yeah, I'm a COO and a commentator. He says I'm doing overtime, you know. Now Gunther might be looking for that power bomb, and Javon is smart and he's going to look for that super cutter and connects. Your boy is bouncy. Javon might be looking for it and misses. And you're just going to annoy Gunther even more. And the referee distracted because as Javon did that springboard, the turnbuckle pad actually came off, which is quite impressive from Javon. That shows the force in which he hits that top rope. Now a knee drop attempted, missed. Javon Evans telegraphs it. Now Javon with the forearm to Gunther, the Ring General. And he's going for it again. This time it doesn't connect. Gunther's going to powerbomb him through the mat. Gunther's seen enough of this guy bouncing around the ring and just plants him with the powerbomb. And Javon Evans gets the shoulder up. Gunther's not one to sit and observe tips and tricks. He's one to... Oh my God, the chop. That could be heard all around Maryland, never mind Baltimore. That lit up Javon Evans' chest like a Christmas tree. The welting on Javon Evans' chest is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. Gunther chops like a machete. Now a DDT from Javon. And a lot of heart this guy shows. A lot of heart, a lot of determination. Will never give up. I can't imagine he's going to be one that he's going to give up in this match going to the top rope. Javon Evans looking to pull away the Ring General, who has not moved since Javon hit that big move. Poised to hit, and a Hurricanrana from the top rope. Gunther, you could say, struggling to deal with the pace here of Javon Evans. Javon with an elbow drop, keeping Gunther down. If anything, whatever happens, you have to be impressed with the performance of Javon Evans. He's been super impressive. He was even great in his match against Bren at Christmas Chaos. That was the match that got him called up to this universe mode for the rest of the year and going forth. And drawn to Monday Night Raw. What a pick! And that driver might do it. Gunther planting Javon Evans on the mat. And a kick out from the young OG. Gunther slams the mat in frustration. You have to understand and resonate with Gunther. This guy doesn't seem to say die. And another huge chop was attempted there from Gunther. And the Javon cutter. Your boy is bouncy. And again, Gunther refuses to... Oh my God. Another Gunther bomb. He's had enough. He's seen enough. And he's seen enough of Javon bouncing around the ring. And Gunther's going to put him down. 1, 2, 3. Well, Javon showed moments. He also showed a little bit of inexperience with the ring. Wait a minute. Cena is here. And Cena's looking for a fourth teammate. And it looks like he has his eyes firmly on Gunther.